Hey everybody, Tim and Adam here to bring you this week's fishing report. We had some beautiful weather this week and then finished up the week with some not so beautiful weather. That's typical Maryland early spring for you guys, but fishing is still good. So let's talk about perch first. Timmy, you want to tell us some stuff about perch?
Yeah, for sure. So the yellow perch have definitely pushed up to the headwaters of the tributaries around here to start spawning. This is the time of year where you're getting them shallow, so you can employ the light soft plastics like these little ballers by Z-Man. You know, the bust them straight tails work great too. Shad darts work great for bait. Grass shrimp are really hard to beat under a bobber, along with minnows and night crawlers. White perch have been up at the headwaters as well. This last little cold snap probably pushed them back to some of their deeper holes, but expect them to be up there within the next few days again. And they should start spawning here pretty soon as well. So yeah, this is the time to get out there for the perch, to go catch some perch.
For sure, absolutely. And some places you guys can go to target these perch. You can check out some areas on the upper Choptank. You can check out some tributaries of the Potomac. Make sure that you are in a spot that wasn't, hit too hard from that sewage spill. Just be careful out there when you do it. You can also check out the Magathie. There's a whole bunch of places. Really, most of your tidal creeks on both the west side and the east side should be holding yellow perch this time of year.
Absolutely.
We'll move on and talk about rockfish really quick. The bite has been kind of sporadic and tough, to be honest. The fish are definitely starting to move up shallow. They're definitely pushing bunker up shallow as they get ready to move up the tributaries for their spawn. But when you do find those fish up shallow, it's really hard to beat like a diving plug like this SP minnow. It's got a nice sort of bunker pattern to it, kind of matching the hatch there. But you can really just check out any shallow-ish water in the main stem of the bay. And if you're not finding them there, then I would say pop out to your channel ledges, see if you mark bait and drop down some jigs. But like I said, it's kind of a tough bite for rockfish right now. Moving on to some other stuff. Trout stockings are still going on. There's a lot of people out there still catching trout. You can go to Waterworks, which they just stocked. You can go to the Upper Patapsco. You can go to Gunpowder. Just check the DNR website. They tell you exactly where they stock, exactly how many fish they stock, so it's a lot of good information there. What type of stuff should we be throwing at trout, Timmy?
So spinnerbaits work great. I got a black rooster tail here that throwing dark colors will help them stand out in some murky water. You can throw power bait mashed up on a hook, and night crawlers work good. You can throw small little plastics and finesse jigs. Just kind of try to show them something they haven't seen. They see a lot of lures, so even little spoons can work good. And one thing to be mindful of is to check out the closures on DNR's website as they do a lot of delayed openings for some of the stocked areas. But yeah, it's the time of year to get out and catch some trout for sure.
Absolutely, and like he said, that DNR website is going to be your resource, not just for trout, but whole other bunch of fishing opportunities throughout the region. Let's pop over to pickerel for a second. That bite has been okay. It hasn't been as good this time of year as it has been in years past, but there are some people out there catching them in the Magathie, the Severn. I've heard a decent bite from the Pocomoke down over there on the eastern shore. Your mill ponds are going to definitely have some fired up pickerel right now. You can always throw a minnow at them, guys. Minnow under a bobber is a great option for pickerel. You can throw a jerkbait, but as these waters pick up, you might want to throw a paddle tail as opposed to a jerkbait, just to have a little bit more vibration and a little bit of a faster moving bait that they might be willing to chase in this warmer water. I really like just like a Z-Man minnows, nice 3-inch profile, could be a little tiny peanut bunker, could be a big mon minnow, really just represents well what those pickerel are feeding on. So it's a good opportunity for you guys looking to catch some toothy fish. As far as some other freshwater stuff goes, our largemouth bass are going to be slowly approaching pre-spawn. They're going to be done being so lethargic like they've been all winter, and they are going to be hungry. So it's a great time of year to throw a glide bait. I've been throwing around this Buka trick shad. It's 6-inch, so it's not massive for a glide bait. You can still catch, 2-3 pound bass on it. You can even catch pickerel on that as well. But I like that sort of smaller size. It's a little more fun. You get some more bites as opposed to just chasing that one bite from a trophy. Any of your neighborhood ponds and lakes should have the bass starting to wake up a little bit, your reservoirs as well, and then the way upper reaches of some of your tidal rivers and creeks. That's about it as far as freshwater goes. Timmy, you want to tell us about some stuff going on the coast?
Yeah, for sure. So we've been hearing about some good tog bites on the wrecks. Here we got just a high-low tog / general purpose wreck rig. Load them up with some green crabs and try to get on some delicious tog. It's been a decent bite. In terms of some other coastal stuff, haven't been hearing a whole lot, but it's about that time. We should start expecting to see some flounder coming into the inlets in Maryland and Virginia. Typically when they first arrive, they're going to look for the warmest water, which is going to be pretty shallow. In those situations, I like throwing little paddle tails. You can rig these in a tandem or just fish them like this, just kind of bounce them on the bottom with a jig head in the quarter to half-ounce range, depending on your current. You can also pair these up with a heavy jig head and fish for them in the deeper channels, 20, 30 foot of water. But water temperature is everything with them this time of year. Even a degree or two on the fish finder can make a huge difference. For those guys out there who want to fish bait, we got you just employ a variety of bottom rigs. Here we got a fluke rig. It's got a little squid teaser on it and a 3-way. You hook a weight up, and then as you're drifting, it just drags that squid teaser, and you can just put a strip of squid and a minnow on, or most any kind of cut bait will work. The classic tradition is just a piece of squid with a bull minnow on it.
Minnow squid sandwich, baby.
Yeah, and one other thing that should start kicking off soon are the black drum and the surf. They typically they typically show up when the water gets in the low 50s. They're going to hit the shallow shoals around Maryland and Virginia. And to catch those, just chunk out some blue crab, peeler crabs, hard crabs, soft crabs. It doesn't really matter. They're not too picky. You can also throw quahog clams at them. We haven't heard a whole lot regarding that fishery, but it should be kicking off any time now.
Yeah, that's
as the water temperature warms up.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. That's going to be a really fun bite going on over there on the coast. Last thing that we forgot to touch on is catfish. Your catfish bite should be pretty good right now. I've heard of some really good stuff out of the Patuxent, but really anywhere in the bay where you can find sort of a little bit of a deeper hole, you have a chance of finding blue cats. As you guys know, they're kind of all over the bay right now. So look at creek mouths, river mouths, anywhere where you can find sort of a deeper hole, and throw out some cut mud shad, which we do have right now, cut bunker, anything like that will work well. You can throw it on one of these Addiction Baits catfish candy rigs. This might look familiar to you guys. If you watch catfishing on social media, or if you catfish in DC, this sort of little rig here has been pretty popular, and we do have them if you guys want to come grab them and use them to fish. But as far as the fishing report goes for this week, that is about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.